skiing career began when I was about 5 years old, and I asked my mother if I could ski to school. And she said, sure, as long as I stayed with the bigger kids. Greetings, my friends. My name is Carl Anderson, and I live in Redmond, Oregon. And I would like to present some pictures of my travels in Scandinavia, Sweden, Finland, and Norway. And we'll go from there. I'm Carl Anderson, who lives in Redmond, Oregon. But I have traveled in much of Scandinavia, which includes, as seen on the map here, Sweden, Finland, and Norway. And then I will introduce you to it. These Vikings are the ones that are often depicted by many people as they become acquainted with the northern part of Europe and the people that have lived there. The ancient capital of Sweden was in Kalmar, along the Baltic coast. It came complete with moats, dungeons, and castle. When I arrived in Scandinavia, I was greeted by several of my relatives who are depicted here in the dress of the ancient Vikings. Today, people of Sweden live in modern Swedish homes. When tourists are traveling in Scandinavia, we often misinterpret the Swedish to English words and causes a lot of humor. Swedish families often enjoy the outdoors with fishing and picnicking. Swedish people often enjoy the outdoors at all times of the year. For instance, taking out the children at 40 below zero in sleds and scooters. My mother even took me out in the early life to go out in sleds in the snow. My granddaughter, Kebna, takes her brother on a sled for a sled ride on what is called a skota in Swedish. Young children, such as this 9-month-old boy, learns to ski right along with his parents. Being a respected visitor to Sweden from the United States, Carl was often asked to start races, particularly this one with children. The winner of this particular race was my grandson, Son. During the summer, typical ski trails are used for hiking and walking. Just as here in Oregon, ski trails are well groomed for use throughout the year. Here in Sweden, trails are well provided for lunch breaks. In Sweden, the streets are well provided, particularly for elder folks to use them with their push bikes to get around. Even at retirement homes, the kick bikes are provided for the elderly people to get around and visit the city. Throughout Sweden, there's a double set of traffic ways for both non-motorized and for vehicle travel. My daughter, Sonia, and her children travel all around the community on kick bikes because the streets are left unplowed. Throughout Sweden, non-motorized vehicles, as you can see in this picture, are promoted throughout the country. Small, medium, and large sparks are provided for families. Elderly folks Even this 75-year-old gentleman traveled back and forth daily from their farms to pick up the mail. As you can see in this photo, all throughout Sweden, all kinds of transportation is promoted. And across the Baltic Sea, ice skating is used to get from one country to another. Stockholm, the capital of Sweden, sailing is used for transportation. Even trolls have a way of getting around on waterways in Sweden. Roadways are well signed to show you that there may be upcoming traffic. Grocery stores are well signed and are misinterpreted English to tell people what they're encouraged to do. Even moose have a right-of-way of travel. Reindeer are seen often grazing along the roadside. The Sami nation on these flags, dress of the Sami people is recognized throughout Scandinavia. Small farm villages, such as where my family lives, are common throughout rural Sweden. The Swedish flag is very common at almost every home. And what it indicates is particularly that when the flag is up, that means visitors are welcome. Families together often ski across the Baltic Sea over frozen waves. Skiing has been a common way of travel even from the early days, by man being pulled by reindeer. As seen here, ancient ski equipment have been discovered from early days. Ancient remains have been found throughout northern Sweden. Early people often used antlers to help shovel snow away for reindeer to get at forage. Modification in ski poles have been made to help racers. Women have adapted new fashions for being out in the snow. Even in Sweden, museums have been developed of different kinds of skis. Elaborately carved skis are even used often as wedding gifts. A well-known trophy race between Bend and Klamath Falls has been used for a long time. Ski jumping has been used from early days. Boy, I hope these four guys make it to the other side of the gulch. Here is depicted the mountainous route of the 59-mile Vasaloppet race. I participated in 3 times in this 59-mile race. The well-recognized international ski race of 59 miles is in honor of the first king of Sweden, Gustav Vasa. This is the cabin that we stayed in before the race. All accommodations for travelers were provided in the fine cabin that we stayed in. Participants in the race often depicted Viking gear. At 40 below zero, Carl is preparing for the Vasaloppet race. The well-known Vasaloppet 59 miles ski race is in honor of the first king of Sweden when he was escaping enemies. Early on, at the beginning of the race, skiers start to spread out. Often along the race, many trolls are seen watching. Many contestants participate in the race. As the race continued, Many skiers resorted to just getting on buses. Carl went on. At the 45K or halfway mark, Carl and his son-in-law continued on. As the end of the race approached, only serious skiers continued on. Along the way with frozen lakes, skiers continued on. Along the track, many monitors were posted to watch for hypothermia or other ailments. At the finish of the race, for both young and old, everything came out right in the end.